going on YouTube? Aaron here, and welcome back to another video. Today we're getting right back on track with a new series where I will be eating and dieting like the last century. Each week will be a new decade. Today is the 1910s. Let's not wasting time. Let's get right into this video. Alright guys, there is far too much to discuss in today's video, so we are just going to get right into it. Aside from eating, throughout this video, I will be providing some awesome fun facts about the 1900s. The first one, not so awesome, actually quite devastating. Back on April 15th of 1912 is when the Titanic sank. But on a positive note, if you watched my Denver trip video, we visited Molly Brown's house. Molly Brown was a Titanic survivor. So that said, we are moving on to the first meal of the day, which is going to be grits. Similar to the 1900s, it was hard to prevent food from spoiling because things like an electronic refrigerator were not a common household appliance until around the 1930s. So things like grits, oatmeal, cereal, and a lot of times leftovers from the night before were eaten for breakfast. Now, me personally, I don't mind grits. I actually love it. So you're about to see me eat this in about 5 seconds. Let's go. And time. This wouldn't be one of my videos without an awesome activity. And today's activity has to do with an awesome fun fact. Back in 1917 is when the National Hockey League, the NHL, was established. So for today's activity, let's get our knuckle puck on. Okay guys, so obviously you could tell that I am not a hockey player, but we are moving on to lunch, and I thought it would be super cool if we had food that was actually created in the 1910s, starting off with Campbell's cream of celery. Now Campbell's itself has been around well before the 1910s, but cream of celery was actually created in 1913. Lucky me. Now condensed soup was super popular in the 1910s because, as I mentioned, it was hard to prevent food from spoiling. So this had a much longer shelf life. Moving on to the next item, which is going to be Nathan's hot dogs. Nathan's hot dog was created in 1916 by a gentleman by the name of, I'm not even joking when I say this, Nathan Hardworker. So I just have a hot dog here with ketchup and mustard. Let's dig in. That is the most elderly thing I have ever had. Ugh. Moving on to another devastating fact. Back on April 6th of 1917, America entered World War I. But on a positive note, let's move on to a positive activity. A toy that you might have played with growing up that was created in the 1910s is Lincoln Logs. Lincoln Logs were created in 1916 by Frank Lloyd Wright. And these bad boys have been popular for the last century. Now, me personally, I never played with these growing up, but Elizabeth has. And another toy that was created in 1915 was the Raggedy Ann doll. Now, for those of you who don't know, the scary movie Annabelle was not about a creepy looking porcelain doll. It was actually about a Raggedy Ann doll. So me, being the smart person that I am, I didn't want to take the chance. So this will be a nice surprise gift for Ariana, and let's move on to dinner. Alright guys, so we are moving on to dinner and the last meal of the day, which is going to be a pork chop and fried potatoes. Things like pork were very popular back in the 1910s because they were the cheaper alternative, so much so that chicken was actually considered a delicacy, and things like salad or raw vegetables were pretty much unknown. Potatoes were very easy to harvest and sustain. So with all of that said, let's dig in. That was actually really delicious. We are moving on to dessert, which is going to be Oreo cookies, because the Oreo was invented and created in 1912. So let's enjoy one. Did you know that they actually came out with a gluten-free Oreos? I'm definitely gonna get those. So I am not gonna finish all of this, but we are gonna get to the last fun fact of the day. In the 1910s, the food that you consumed was as heavy as you could afford. The average salary in the 1910s was around 22 cents per hour, which averaged about $200 to $400 a year. To put that into perspective, that is like the average family cell phone bill. And with all of that said, that is gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. I sincerely hope that you enjoyed it and that it was entertaining. Next week, we're moving on to the Roaring 20s. So please make sure to hit that subscribe button if you are new. Give this video a like, comment down below. And as always, guys, stay safe, take care, and God bless.